What's the best financial advice you can give to an entrepreneur?
I would say try and start your business without borrowing money. That's the advice my dad gave me. My dad was in the police force, so to him borrowing money was never an option. And that was probably my best advice, because I rolled every little cent, made sure I get every cent back into the business, and I understood the profitability of every single product. I made sure I've got very good trading terms. So it's really just looking after the pennies, and the pounds will look after themselves.
Keep it simple. So I think when you're starting out, especially, make sure that you offload as much as possible. Kill the debit orders. Keep it simple. Make sure that you're as lean as nimble as possible, and always have kind of a rainy day fund.
If one is financing the business, which most of us have to do, one needs to have sufficient financial reserves to keep going and to buy what you need to buy. It's just the most silly thing to have a product, a great product, that the consumer really wants, that the retailer really has placed an order for, but that you can't afford to actually bring in order to sell to him. You're just going to collapse the company. So you must make sure you have sufficient capital.
So I think if you can get customers and get things committed up front, I think that's very important. So I think, trying to write up a plan, get the money first, and then go talk to customers, something like that is probably the other way around. You want to go and make sure you've got a concept that works, talk to people about it, make sure that people are interested, and have that before you go in to figure out how much money you need, and then get as little as possible to get that first start.
If any business starts, they'll do well to get a good accountant and a good lawyer, but more than anything, a good accountant, because you never want to get behind on tax, misunderstanding things. Cash flow is king. I must be honest, I've really had to learn hard lessons around finance, because I've always been like, it'll all just work out. And it doesn't always work like that.
Yeah.
You have to chase pennies down the hallway. You have to be specific about money. And then understanding that what's in your account is what makes a difference, as opposed to what's on your books.
Yeah.
Because there will be times that people don't pay you. In fact, sometimes there'll be money you'll have to write off, and you earn that money. And just because you invoice, that doesn't mean it's yours.